Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deputy Secretary of Defense, Paul Wolfowitz, Attorney General, John Ashcroft, FBI Director, Robert Mueller, CIA Director, George Tenet, Secretary of Homeland Security, Governor Tom Ridge, and Deputy Secretary of State, Richard Armitage. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Good afternoon. Since September the 11th, President Bush has led a coalition of 90 countries that have come together in the fight against terrorism. While terrorists seek to extort through violence, the President leads the world in the defense of freedom and the rule of law. Here at home, President Bush continues to direct the refinement, the reformation, and the reinvention of our intelligence operations and capabilities. Here at home, President Bush continues to direct the refinement, the reformation, and the reinvention of our intelligence operations and capabilities. The President constantly challenges us, all of us, to improve our operations and capabilities, to do so every single day. The war on terrorism requires constant improvement and adaptation in order to meet the constantly evolving and adapting terrorist threat. The ancient proverb teaches us, where there is no vision, the people perish. The President's vision emphasizes intelligence integration so that the people are protected. President Bush immediately engaged the community of freedom-loving, rule-of-law respecting nations who now work with us in intelligence and law enforcement on a daily basis. President Bush has energized the law enforcement and intelligence communities here at home to work together in an integrated way as never before. Most importantly, President Bush insists that our responses to evil respect the Constitution and the values of freedom and justice that the Constitution guarantees. President Bush has put us on the right track, and he's directed that the team of captains that he has assembled never stop. As part of the President's national security team, the FBI is advancing daily, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to the FBI. On behalf of all the people who serve at the FBI and at the Justice Department, I'm pleased to welcome the world's strongest opponent of terror and most courageous proponent of freedom, the President of the United States, George W. Bush. President.
Thanks for the warm welcome. It's nice to be back to the FBI again. Last time I was here was 14 months ago, and our country just realized we were at war. We just learned that America was a battlefield. Across the world, we're tracking and confronting and defeating international terror. Within our own country, we're taking unprecedented measures to protect the American people against a serious and continuing danger. There is no such thing as perfect security against a hidden network of cold-blooded killers. Yet abroad and home, we're not going to wait till the worst dangers are upon us. We continue to be in a state of war, but we're making progress. And today I want to talk about the Terrorist Threat Integration Center, which will help us meet the challenges of war. Will help us do everything we can to say clearly to the American people, we're working overtime to protect you. We're doing everything in our power to make sure the homeland is secure. The officials who are present here represent thousands of patriotic Americans who know that we've been called into action, that this is a new era. One of the reasons I express such confidence in the country is because I understand the character of the people who've been called into action. And there's no doubt in my mind we will prevail. I want to thank Attorney General John Ashcroft for doing such a fabulous job at the Department of Justice. He's assembled a fantastic team which is representing our country with distinction. I want to thank Tom Riz for becoming the first Cabinet Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. I want to thank Wolfowitz and Armitage, who are up here with us, two of the prettiest members of my administration. They're doing a fabulous job. Paul works with the Secretary of Defense, Don Rumsfeld. Dick works with the Secretary of State, Colin Powell. Both these men are incredibly important members of a team that is doing everything in our power to protect freedom and security and peace. I appreciate their hard work. I want to thank Bob Mueller, who's transforming the FBI. He's got all my confidence, and so does the director of the CIA, George Tenet. Both these men head incredibly important agencies in our war against terror. Both of them have responded to the call. America is better off for their service to our country. I want to thank the members of Congress who are here. I see Senator George Allen is here, Chris Cox, Frank Wolf, Jim Turner, and Jane Harmon, members of the Congress, the House, the last four, representing both political parties. I want to thank you for your dedication to the country. It's been a joy to work with you all to better secure our homeland, to join together to do everything we can to protect America. I also want to thank the Chief Ramsey who's here, and Chief Moose, and Jim Pasco. I appreciate you all and all the other local law enforcement officials who have come today. You play an integral role in the defense of our country. You're on the front line. And for that, the American people are grateful. When you get back home, I hope you tell the troops how much I respect them and what they do. How much America counts on them, and how grateful we are for their sacrifices on behalf of the safety and security of the American people. Before September the 11th, if you can remember that far back, we all thought oceans could protect us from attack. The nation thought we were secure from any gathering danger that might be occurring somewhere else. After all, our history pretty well predicted that we would be safe. But everything changed on that morning, and it's important for our fellow citizens to understand that everything did change. That we must do everything in our power to stop an enemy from coming here to hurt us. That's our first task. Last week's decision to raise our national terrorist threat is a stark reminder of the new era we're in. That we're at war, and the war goes on.